Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Fantasy Costumes and Courage, Episode 2. I am Rowan.
I'm Stephanie. And we're here to talk about the upcoming LARP we're going to this weekend.
Yes, today is Monday as of recording, and we're heading over on Thursday.
Yep.
To set up camp and get everything ready for Friday.
Time in at
6?
Yes, but I kind of meant what LARP it is, because we haven't said that yet.
We are, of course, going to Menhirs Fate.
Yes, yeah, a brand new Fest LARP. As of this weekend, will be the first event in England.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we spoke about it a little bit on our previous episode.
Yeah, but we wanted to save it because we knew the event was coming up. So we're just gonna kind of, I think, hash like randomly. We don't have a plan. We don't have a structure. We're just gonna talk. Mostly for ourselves for later. I think you called it in the last episode like a memory cast. So it's definitely a podcast mostly for ourselves for the future, I think.
Yeah, so I can cringe at myself when I'm in my 50s.
Yeah. Be like, oh, remember when we went to Menhirs for the first time and now we've been there 30.
We were so young. Oh, look at us. Old and wrinkly. Head, less hair.
Oh no, not me too.
Yeah, you too.
So Menhirs Fate, there's 9 nations.
Yes.
And we picked Ceradonia, which is a nation that, since the calamity has been forced underground but adapted in a kind of almost post-apocalyptic, community-focused way to living underground.
Yeah, I think on the brief it says it's kind of like a fallout shelter, except, positive and not, with the dark meanings behind it and
yeah,
the experiments being run on us.
Yeah, I hope it would be kind of funny though if it came out in game that Kairos. So Ceradonia is originally a mining expedition colony of Kairos who live out kind of on an island. If I can figure out editing, I'll post a map picture because they recently released the world map.
Very cool.
But if not, just imagine yourselves thinking of Kairos out in the seas and Ceradonia mountains. And yeah, so it'd be kind of funny if it was actually Kairos was just behind it the whole time, and we are a complete it wasn't necessary, there was no need to go.
Yeah.
We're just a big experiment.
That would be kind of funny, and I wouldn't have expected it until you've just said it now. Now I'm like, there's definitely a possibility now.
I think probably not, just because I know the nation support that we have who are currently writing probably the last bits of plot for this upcoming weekend.
Yeah. Absolutely
love Ceradonia, and I doubt that they would have it be just, it was an experiment.
Unless they really, really like Fallout, at which point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing that sort of suggested that so far. I think from the kit pictures and everything, I'm the only one that's going to be wearing a jumpsuit.
Yeah, yes. One of the options for Ceradonia, look and feel, was a jumpsuit, i.e. Fallout.
Yeah.
Just no visible zippers or modern kind of thing. So yours is snap buttons.
Yeah.
But when it's closed up, it looks just like buttons, normal. So, and they're nice metallic, but it's not a zipper because no zippers allowed.
Yeah.
Too modern. for this fantasy world.
Yeah. I like zips, but buttons are pretty cool.
Yeah. You can have interior zippers. Add some to your pockets. So your stuff doesn't fall out.
Sounds like so much effort.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people have gone more kind of, from what I've seen, that like priesty kind of cleric-y vibe, which is also really cool. Very Saradonia. We're a very religious nation, as well as being a cult, not a cult.
Yeah.
that leads more into the we're not a cult, right? kind of vibes when they're like, there's religion involved.
Yeah, but there's 12 gods, so...
Yeah, we have a full pantheon. It's more than just 2, but it's not 500, so I'm glad that they stuck with like 12.
Yeah. And they said that Saradonia worships all the gods equally.
Yep.
Which is important for us. It means we can pick anyone we like.
Yeah. It's an interesting game aspect, because at the other LARP that we go to, Empire, neither of us have really gotten into the religion kind of realm within that game system. So we're kind of like forced into it in this game system just because of how Saradonia is. Not saying that, I think it's not that you have to be, devout and overtly like religious all of the time. It's just how our nation's like system kind of works is, everyone lives within one district, and within one of the districts, and there's one district for every god. And then I don't think necessarily anyone lives in the Forge district, because I think it's just like the forges, but I don't know. I think we'd have to ask nation support. But yeah, you kind of have to pick a god, not necessarily that you were like, like Amus and Mamus, like bowing down to them all of the time.
Yeah.
But you do have to live somewhere, so you kind of have to go with a god in mind. So I went with Warrior.
Oh.
Is the district that I'm from.
See, I didn't know that.
I don't know why.
What made you go with Warrior? Well, you just said you don't know why, but...
No, I don't know why you didn't know that, because I thought we had talked about it before. I think... I don't know. You're putting me on the spot, and now I feel like I need to like quickly like Google search what the Warrior is about. This is why.
Yeah.
No, I think just because my character backstory, for the most part, fairly basic, but I've gone with they're from the Warrior district. They've always lived there. They have the same name since birth, so they're the name that my character has isn't a chosen name by herself, which is one of the things that you can do in Saradonia, is when you feel as though you've completed your name or you have a new purpose in life, you can kind of devote yourself to that purpose via your name, which is really cool. And I think with what I was thinking with my character is that she's kind of grown up with this like extreme name and didn't really know what to do with it, and thus far has worked with the
Hewers?
With the Hewers, yeah, as a Sagus, something like that, but basically architecture, helping to mine out the cavern for new buildings, creating maps, exploring tunnels, creating maps like that, very much like a map maker, which doesn't really fit with what her name is, in the sense that her name is the Joyous Can Welcome Peace, but the corrupted be damned. And in coming from the warrior district, that really meant for her parents, for her to be like the warrior more so, and, you know, kill off some corrupted. And thus far, she's just been kind of drawing maps while the healers fight shaft shadows in the background, and not so much anything else.
Yeah.
You look like you're just drifting. Am I that boring?
No, I was trying to think of a follow-up question, but I just couldn't.
Okay. Don't try so hard. He may or may not have a concussion right now, so
Yeah.
forgive Rowan for his kind of...
Yeah, I'm slow normally, so right now it's really bad. Yeah. Do you think... I think you said our characters haven't met, but do you think in the recent month...
No, I said I don't know if they've met because we haven't talked about it.
Okay. Let's talk about it now.
I was like, we're camping with each other, cooking with each other. Like, do they know each other? Do they? They must do. Where are you from?
So I haven't actually decided.
Go about your character a little bit first.
So I haven't fully decided on a god yet. I wanted it to...
Well, let me preface mine with my character currently lives in a domus in the warrior district. Sorry, the door just like cracked. I don't know if the camera picked it up, and I thought the dog had jumped over the fence and gotten to the door. No. So yeah, my character currently is from the warrior district, lives with the domus that she's always lived with. She's fairly young, 25, so she's still kind of finding her place in the world, and that doesn't mean she's always going to be devoted to the warrior.
Yeah.
So my thought of it was not so much what she kind of needs to be or who she needs to kind of follow more, but what has she been following. That's what I was thinking of. And then if we find a group in character that we really like, and there are a lot of them that worship the shadow, so potentially the shadow, you know, my character will have to find a reason why in character the shadow is good for her, which I think would be kind of interesting gameplay and talking with them about it. Because out of character, I think, is when we would decide, yeah, let's, oh, you're, you know, can we join you? You join, yeah, you know, form into their group. If it's an already established group, we do have, yeah, another person who's thinking about starting a group, and that might happen all in character, which would be kind of cool if that happens. In which case, no idea what god that's going to be, because that'll be all in character to discuss.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, sorry to like cut you off with what you were saying.
No.
I just thought I should preface that I didn't know, yeah.
It gave me time to think, which
Okay.
I'm grateful for. So I'll preface my character as introduction. As Stephanie said, we're kind of looking for a group anyway, so I kind of wanted to build that into my character background story so that I sort of give myself options. So I was like, oh well, what would be a reason for Strike While the Iron is Hot, which is my character's name, to want to change God or, you know, change Domus, because like the Domuses are the houses that we live in.
Yeah, I didn't mention that.
That's okay.
Read the wiki, it's not that big.
No, not yet.
No.
So I was trying to think of it, and I thought, well, this is like the beginning of his journey as like a character, so having like a kick-off event, which was that his friend, his brother from his current Domus, died, so now he's going through a early midlife crisis in a way, and is like, oh well, I'll stop being a ferrum, which is essentially like a blacksmith or an enchanter, to try and become a hewer, which, as Stephanie said, digs out the caverns and fight off corrupted and things like that,
Yeah.
because that's what his friend did. So he's trying to live up to his friend, and he's taken the new name Strike While the Iron is Hot to show that he's willing to sort of act first or act quickly.
Yeah, that's cool.
So now he's looking for a new domus. As I say, I haven't decided on what god he's currently worshipping. I was thinking it would make more sense if in his new eyes it was a boring god, something like the scribe, or is the scribe a god?
There's like
the bookie one. Yeah, I don't want to be in the bookie one basically, because
I feel like I need to pull it up now.
Yeah. He was in the bookie one, and now he's all about action, so he wants to be in something like the warrior or the guardian, something like that, to try and live up to his name and please the god more, essentially. But it fully depends on the scholar. Yeah.
See,
the scribe. What an idiot!
What an idiot! God, you should know all your gods because we're from Ceradonia.
Well, I don't like him. I don't have to know him.
When you were like scribe, the only one I could think of was the muse, because I was like, oh, muse is like, if you're a muse for someone, they like you inspire.
Yeah, that would. No, that wouldn't be too boring for Strike, but yeah.
You don't want to have the pursuit of knowledge as a lifelong journey?
No, I think he started off on that road, and then it ended up with his friend dying and him, not being able to do anything. So now he wants to help Ceradonia forge a path forwards, really.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
Yeah, now he wants to find a new domus with a new god to try and kind of get out of that old domus where he sees a lot of the people that remind him of his brother, and going to the same place where he would spend time with his brother is probably pretty painful for him. So yeah, but despite that, I'm trying to play him as an excited and happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
Yeah, you could play it as if it is a mask. So. He obviously has some deep turmoil going on the inside, so you could have moments where because it does kind of happen, as we saw when I was talking earlier, where you just go into a daze.
Yeah.
That you could just play that into your character, and that's a moment where because when you're LARPing, you are still yourself, and sometimes you can get caught up in your own thoughts and kind of taken out of the experience by thoughts, concerns, whatever, where you do have kind of glass over the eyes moments. But for you, it'd be so easy to explain that was just him thinking of what has happened, and then whoop, okay guys, let's go, the mask back on, and it could be he's putting forward who he wants to be.
Yeah.
But then you can explain moments where maybe you are more reserved, as that is who your character is, but he's trying to become a new person, a new new job, new him.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like that. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because we have played a lot of D&D together. I've DM'd for you, you've DM'd for me, we've been DM'd by other people. And I find it interesting, one of the things that we never do is really talk about our character development with each other. We'd always just show up at D&D and say it to the whole group, this is who I am. And I don't know, it's one of those things where I wonder if we should do it differently. or in the case of for your character, when I first read your backstory, which was like your submitted backstory on the website.
Yeah.
Which at the time you couldn't edit. You had to remake your whole character and change it. So I didn't want to like say too much, but I worried about you getting stuck in the trope of like someone died and now I'm doing like a revenge kind of story.
Oh, no, I think, so that's the part I missed off, actually. So, on Strike While the Iron's Hot, on his first day as a hewer, he saw his friend as a Sharp Shadow, and Sharp Shadows are, like, they're supposed to be,
Or he thinks he did.
Oh,
Because they're not really real.
Well, to other people they might not be real, but the hewers, and probably some of the circuses, like, swear by them, so it's kind of like a folky kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like cryptids.
Yeah.
Shaft Shadow is like a cryptid. So he's seen a Shaft Shadow that looks similar to his...
Yeah, my friend's name. That's... Oh.
You have to come up with a second whole, like, name.
I came up with a second name, but I can't remember what it is. Steel is his, like, shortened name. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and then so you've gone with Iron, which is not as strong. So,
Yeah, totally intended.
Totally
definitely
intended.
definitely not an accident, and a happy accident at that.
No, yeah, that's actually really funny. The coincidences of life, where like, yeah, you know, Steel was probably a very strong person, whatever their full name be.
Yeah.
But then Strike While the Iron is Hot is like trying to like live up to that legacy, but like probably because he chose his name, Strike While the Iron is Hot, right? That's his chosen name by himself. He probably subconsciously doesn't think he can live up to Steel's expectations, or like not that Steel would have expected anything from him, but like live up to how he was as a person.
His memory of Steel.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh my gosh, I'm just creating backstory for you, just like listening to your things. Nice.
Yeah,
You're
that's pretty
welcome.
nice. Thank you. I think I remembered it. I think his name was As Steel is Tempered, So is the Heart. As steel is tempered, so is the heart.
Oh, cute.
So I think that's what it is. Thank you, ChatGPT.
No AI. What are you talking about?
I'm not good with the Puritan style names, so I used ChatGPT to help me come up with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, after seeing Steel as this Shaft Shadow, he is now very interested in learning more about the Shaft Shadows, because on reading the brief, that was something that I was like, I kind of want answers to that.
Yeah.
That looked interesting. So it was just natural for like the character archetype and me as like a person wanting to find more.
Yeah.
So yeah, worked out pretty well.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, bottom line is I wanted it open and to like give myself more options of if hopefully we do find a group that my character already has a reason to leave his current domus, essentially. Yeah,
I think for my character, until we join, or because I think we've kind of mentioned it before, like what happens if you find a group that you really want to join, but I'm not sure, and then I would find like another group, and we'll have to like figure it out after that to see like, do we want to split up? Because before, Empire, we play a married couple, which we went over in our last episode 1, and this they're not together. They're not.
I like to think we know each other.
Yeah.
Because
be kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Although, in full fairness, it has been said that you can have every reason, like if you have a friend in another nation, but you're dead set, like I want to play that nation. My friends over there, they got the tent. You can be in character, renting a space from that person to sleep in their tent, and you don't actually have to like necessarily know each other in character, or you can. Like, there's every opportunity in this world to know people from other nations. Like, they haven't been completely split off from each other for hundreds of years and now suddenly brought together. We've all just been kind of slowly fighting the corruption at different points over the last couple hundred years. So yeah, in that essence, like, our characters can know each other but not necessarily like be the closest. But I think we'll find out how they are in character.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know how easy it will be to like stay in character around you. Because yeah, Joyous is gonna be very joyous and happy, and Rowan knows how to tick me off. And there have been many times in the tent, which we always camp in character. We try to, it helps with peace of mind and giving us a place that we can go to in the in-character area to like just fully like come out of character and close the door and just relax.
Yeah.
Mostly like for my mentality, it's definitely needed. But yeah, there have been times where like you were still doing like a character accent in the tent, and I was just like, I had enough. I was like, stop.
Yeah, I'm not going to do an accent this time. I think I'm just going to use my normal voice, and unfortunately for everyone else. But
Yeah.
But yeah, in my mind, our characters do know each other, but maybe I didn't know about the renting a tent space. That's a good thing to think about or have in the back pocket, because it means like those people who are doing that, it means your characters can get to know each other like in person as well, and go off that, so you don't have to be like complete strangers. But I was thinking, because this is a little bit of a hint, but we've taken the same resource.
Yep.
So in my mind I was thinking, oh, maybe I met you while like gathering the resource or something like that at some point. So that's how we know each other, and then because of that, then we've got a tent together, because I mentioned in passing that we were going to Haven or something like that.
Yeah, easier. Or, yeah, I kind of think so. For my character, the reason why she's gone to Haven is because now she has this more, the feeling of wanting to complete her name. I think it kind of stems with, like, both my parents are quite older. And I think, you know, as a kid, you always want to do something to, like, I don't know, make your parents proud. And I think, like, in this aspect of that line of thinking, my character, Joyous, wants to make her parents proud because they're older. Or you know, she senses that they're, like, slowing down. They've very much been fighters, but neither of them are coming to Haven because it's just too far, and they'd rather, like, stand at the high bulwark or down in the caves that are being explored and fighting off corruption within Ceradonia rather than going out. And it's much more of a, like, you know, they're sending her as like this is a young person's journey, go forth. And save the world. So she's kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I feel like she would probably be like, hey, are you going to this place? Cool, let's go together. Sort of like banding a few people around her. Which hopefully it's just, so far it's just you that she's banded around her, so it's kind of sad.
You saying that and like putting it in that tone, like, hey, are you going? Like, has made me in my mind, my character has just gone like, huh, like like, yeah, let's go.
That's so your character as well.
Well, why wouldn't I go? You know, like, gonna go save the world? Sure, why not? What's the worst?
What's not gonna happen?
What's not gonna happen?
So yeah, I think in terms of character development, it was probably like 2 months ago or so. We were out on a walk with our dog, and I asked Rowan, what is your character going to sound like when they speak? Have you thought about this? Because I had thought about it for myself, because I can be very pessimistic in my wording, my tone. I can be very like,
Oh,
no.
oh, you're lovely.
Everyone says that, and I don't believe it. I hear pessimism like when I talk. Like, I don't know how no one else hears it. But I was thinking of how can I change my voice without doing like putting up an accent, but changing my tone, my delivery, my timings on things to be more how I wanted my character to sound, be like more upbeat, maybe not necessarily like higher pitched, but just like positive. Yeah. Because it would be very easy to kind of go into like a ooh kind of voice and like...
Which she did.
Yeah.
It was cringe.
But it's part of like the testing it out, and like that was one of the things where with D&D you don't really... Like, I've never really thought about how a character is going to sound until it's the first interaction. So it was one of my thoughts of, oh, shoot, like, I don't want to panic when I'm in the field.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go with an idea of what I want her to be like when walking around, when meeting people. And I have, like, in, like, real person inspiration of people I know that I'd like my character to come across like. How well I'll do it acting like that, I don't know. But in that conversation, that's where Rowan kind of started coming up with the, like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna be there.
No, not arrogant.
No, but...
Maybe, I don't know. It depends how people take it, really, doesn't it? I don't get to decide whether he's arrogant or not, other people do.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be arrogant, but if he is, then that's just something to overcome as a character, hopefully.
I think it's less arrogance and more just, like, denial.
Yeah.
Denial of the truth of, like, we kind of had this conversation where I was like, pretend I'm from Morvalis or the Wonder or something, and you're trying to convince me to, like, join your party. And it was, I think, one of the things you said, I was just like, so like, what the heck? Oh gosh, it was just in my head. What was it? It was,
I don't remember.
Dang it, it was literally in my head before I started explaining the whole thing. Oh god, now I'm...
It's okay. Did I say something about how, you know, what's the worst that can happen? I die and then, you know, I have to walk my corpse over to Morvalis for it to tend to the fields, I don't know.
No, oh no. It's gonna come to me, like, in 2 days when we're on the field.
Yeah.
It's too late for this video. No, but it was just something that, yeah, I think it was just how you were playing it, of like, hey, you want to come join me? And it's just like, and I was trying to be very, like, negative, like, why would I want to join you? And he was just like, well, like, I'm gonna be there, like, and I'll be like, oh yeah, what happened, like, you gonna die? No, I'm not gonna die. I was just like, that's very intense. But it's interesting, because it's definitely, like...
Not me.
Not you, yeah. I think we've both kind of gone with characters that are more extroverted than ourselves. That's the attempt.
Yeah.
So I think now would probably be a good point to, like, pivot into smooth pivot into right, we all just, like, turn in our chairs.
Pivot.
Stop. into kind of expectations for this weekend. Because this is the first event. Large event, that all these people have held together. A lot of them have done smaller events, smaller LARPs. So I think kind of like expectations of the LARP in general, but also pivoting into the expectations that you have like for your character. I think it's smooth pivot. Right into that.
Do you want to go first, or shall I?
You can go.
Wow.
Because I feel like I butchered the pivot. We have no structure. There's no structure. That was just one of the talking points that we had discussed earlier, and I was like, you know what? Let's pivot into it, and I effed it.
I don't remember talking about discussion points. You just said some things, and I was like, sure, sounds fun.
He was probably in a concussed daze. Huh? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Or being a man and just not being able to listen. But, you know, it happens. So yeah, experiences for the weekend. Or expectations, not experiences. Whew.
Yeah, we haven't been there yet. That's next week.
Expectations. I kind of expect chaos. I expect a lot of people to be like going around the different camps, trying to like meet as many people as possible, see like what each different nation is like.
Which is crazy because I feel like I don't even know enough about our nation. And I've read the wiki many times, and it just feels like, not that there's not enough there, but there's not enough history to it.
Well, that's not our fault.
No,
So
that's the corruption's fault.
Part of the world is there's something called the fading, where history has been lost, essentially. Is the TLDR.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I kind of want to be one of those people as well, going around to see all the different nations. Like, I want to get to know a lot of people in our nation to see where the best fit is. Group-wise, and just sort of experience our nation a bit, because obviously I picked it for a reason. But then I also haven't really read any of the briefs from the other nations, so I want to
There's some good ones.
I've read some. I think I read Valdraith a little bit, because that was a nation was my second nation. So yeah, it'd be nice to learn about the nations from people who quote unquote live there.
Yeah, I can't wait to speak to people from the Wonder.
Yeah, you have said.
But that's purely because in our brief with Saradonia, if I just what one is it under? Government and politics, I think.
Probably.
Oh gosh, foreign policy.
Yeah.
There's a really good line, and I love it. Where is it? Crown Lands.
Are you sure?
Oh, maybe it was in.
Are you sure it's not economic interests?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Is that paragraph at the top?
At the top?
No, you were just. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, very well organised.
Very well.
Professionals.
No, that wasn't it. It must be in. I think it might not have been actually in our brief, but it might have been in one of the other related briefs where they kind of like mention like it could be Kairos or something like that, where it's like Kairos, Saradonia, and not so much Morvalis, but like kind of like view like, no, I don't know if it's Kairos, but it's definitely Saradonia and the Wonder kind of have this like, they view each other with awe. Kind of a like oh my gosh, you are so different, but that's cool. Like, that's the vibe, where it's not like a, ooh, you're different and weird and gross. It's the like, oh, you're fascinating, like actually so fascinating that you are like this. And I think I've kind of grasped onto that like whole, you know, my character spent 25 years down in the cave knows what a log looks like, but has no idea what a tree is until going to Haven, sees trees, and runs up to whatever tree and be like, oh my gosh, hello, because I've heard there's talking trees. Are you one of the there's like, trees and magical, like the wonder is just like so full on of like all of this vibrant plant life that my character wouldn't know about, that I'm going to like anytime I see, well, my hope is, my expectation is anytime I see someone that says they're from the Wonder, just like almost fall to my knees of like joy and be like, oh my god, please tell me everything about your giant fungi. And just that's kind of like one of my expectations, I guess, for my character.
Have you got any others? Have I just put you on the spot?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, put me on the spot. And I cut you off on yours, so I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I do have a couple more.
Yeah, go on.
So I said chaos with
Yes.
people running around, but I also fully expect chaos in our nation battle because from what we've been told, or our nation, not battle, what are they called? Incursion?
Oh, do you mean like when they come to us?
No, when we go to them.
I think it's kind of like a...
Because they said there should be a little bit for everyone, so people who are non-combat.
Yeah,
There should be something there.
that's what they're saying for monstering.
Oh, okay.
That in monstering, there will be a nation slot for monstering, and if you go, like, that's when you should be going to monster. If you go monster during another nation slot, which you're welcome to, you might miss plot for your own nation, such as like an incursion in camp. But no, I think we'll have like a nation fight. I don't know how much in that they'll have for non-com people.
Yeah.
Non-combatants. I don't think much, because there's other things they can do. Versus like there's not that much fighting stuff. Because like, well, you can go to the guilds and do, but not all of the guild like excursions that you might get put on are gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
So if people who like fighting ourselves want to fight, I think it's gonna be that nation fight.
Yeah. So my expectation is that fight will be chaos because it'll be our first time fighting together, and from what we've seen of people on the Discord or heard of people on the Discord, there's a lot of different combat styles going around, which makes it slightly difficult to have, a well executed plan, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be fun.
I know we just had 2 days ago on the Discord a giant nation chat, and I know one person in there said that their goal is to kind of pull the nation together in a way where we can group and have the shields together to form shield walls and practice executing that like in camp, and then have other people practicing their stuff, etc., etc. But I really wonder, our nation is a nation without pikes, without pole arms, without length in terms of weapons. And my kind of feeling is that you go do your battle and you're battling against another nation during their nation monstering slot. That's just my feel. That might not be true. They might have enough crew to do that monstering.
No, they'll want people from the other nations.
Yeah, and when you're monstering, you can kind of go as your own nation look, because you are gonna be from the Fallen.
Yeah, correct.
Who kind of are like people who have left your nation and decided to join the corrupted gods and all of that nonsense. So I kind of worry that we're gonna get put against a nation that has a bunch of pole arms. And that's that one expectation that I hope isn't true. Because, yeah, it'll make fights a bit harder. But I've practiced against you with a pole arm.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a feel of, like, how to once you get past the initial hit, you can get in there and, like, get them quite good, and they can't really fight back once you're close.
Yeah, but it just means you have to wrap around more, so like yourself and me who are going ambidextrous and fighting with two weapons, if we just run around the back, then their line will turn or, like, curve in a little bit, which means the shield wall can move forwards and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to do. And it takes a lot of practice, I think, which we won't have had, which is why I think chaos.
Chaos. Well, yeah, and hopefully we'll have some practice. I feel nervous, so one of my expectations is as we approach? What's the word?
I don't know what you're going for. So
breach?
It could be broach.
Broach, like 5 o'clock. Because time in 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So as we approach 5 o'clock, I have a feeling that my nerves will be setting in because we have no idea what's going to happen at time in, and that makes me feel really nervous. Like, are we just going to be like, ding dong, time in, like, and then just start talking, everything's chill in camp? Because that's chill. Or incursions coming from the outside in, like, will there be suddenly, the corrupted? Will there suddenly be a god, like, come down to Haven in the form of one of their Pre things? We don't know.
That would be very cool.
And I think I've, like, thought of every single thing, and I'm gonna build up my nerves for nothing.
Yeah, probably. But I also think because we're going on Thursday, and we'll hopefully get a chance to chat with a lot of other people who are there on Thursday, meet some people who we've spoken to online and things like that.
Yeah, and do some music.
Yeah, and that when it does get to, like, Friday and 5 o'clock or whatever, we'll know some people. Well, we can ask them what they're going to be doing at the start of time in and things like that. So, yeah. I think basically your worries will go away on Thursday. Hopefully, you'll once you've met people, you'll settle in and.
Yeah, well, I still think there'll still be the, like, it's almost time in.
On the first event.
On the first event, am I ready? Do I remember enough? Like, if I have someone from Valdraith come up and be like, tell me about Saradonia, do I remember enough? Who knows? Hopefully, I can bring other people. As you've seen, he's put me on the spot, and I'm just like, that's definitely not what my character is gonna be like.
But you could just, improv.
It's fine. Yeah.
Lie.
Lie. Yeah.
And then if it's wrong,
we sleep upside down like the bats.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe your character could be just really sarcastic and in
a very positive way.
Yeah.
Just like sprouting lies left, right, and center.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it, I don't know.
No, yeah. So other than that first, like, the nerves leading up to time in, my expectations for this event are good weather. So I'm really pleased to see that the weather's.
You've just jinxed it. It's gonna rain all weekend now. Touch wood.
No, so I'm looking forward to that. Mostly because from the Saradonia point of view, we have a giant crystal that has, like, a full name, but we affectionately refer to it as Bright. We have a giant crystal that, magically dims for nighttime, I think, and brightens during daytime. We don't know what this, like, sun over the sky thing is so much, and I think for my character, I'm going to play it as if this is her first time leaving the caves, because she's not a Tyrian who is like a traitor. She isn't a person who would have ever needed to go out anywhere. She's kind of learned and lived, and I think being young, that's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of firsts for my character in that aspect, which I'm excited to kind of role play through, especially if we make friends or we go find people that we know out of character that are in other nations, and we go chat to them in character and kind of be playing this whole different character. Because we do have some friends from Empire that have chosen other nations. One of them is in Kairos, who's like, our distant cousins.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be really cool to go talk to them in character if we can find them. Because it's a big field. So I'm expecting a lot of space. I think it's gonna be nice. We can be like quite spread out, I think, because
it'll be nice, but at the same time it won't be, because I think from going to Empire and having everyone like so rammed together essentially, there's like that busy feel, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
That hustle and bustle, but there probably won't. I don't expect that if it's like massively wide open.
Yeah, I think it'll be busier towards the center where we have like, it's like a spokes wheel. Basically, we have a town center, and then all 9 nations kind of go off. And then down by us, we also have the traders, the food, the showers, the toilets, and then I think there's toilets as well in the very center. So I think Ceradonia and our other neighbor, which I think is Morvalis, we will get probably a lot more people just like coming through our area to get to those places, which will kind of, I hope, give us that busy feeling. But I'm very excited to not be sleeping between 2 bars for once.
Well, you don't know.
I don't know that.
You don't know yet.
But so far, I have not heard of a Ceradonian bar. I've only heard of the tea house, and I would love to sleep next to the tea house so I can,
wake up and get some tea.
Wake up and get hot water and make my tea. Yeah, so I'm smuggling my own tea in. But it's not smuggling. I'm not breaking laws. You're allowed to bring your own food. But it's American tea, so it's kind of smuggled. You heard nothing. But yeah, otherwise,
What are your expectations for the tea house?
For the tea house?
Yeah.
I think they seem like a really well put together group. Like, they have a design for their flag, I guess you could say. Their emblem, their imagery. It's the Casbar Reavers, and they seem so put together. They've obviously been LARPing like much longer than us, and they're all so friendly.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are from our nation checking this video out, I'm the one who put together the Ceradonia Domus group Excel sheet. Why are you? I'm not bragging. You're such an asshole.
So fancy.
No, that was the like, just brag about yourself. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm the one who did it.
Yeah.
So if you ever need anything and you don't know who I am in field, this is me.
Except she'll be wearing a wig.
I will be strawberry blonde, but still me. And they were the first group to reply to that, and they already had their imagery. That wasn't even a slot I had to make it because they sent a picture of like what their design was, and I was like, oh, of course, yeah, groups might have imagery, kind of like emblems, like, yeah, stuff like that, like, of course I'll add it. And they already had their design, like, yeah, there's so much put together so early on. That was just really impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to check them out. I'm excited to check out some of the other groups that are in our nation as well.
There was talk of a bathhouse, wasn't there? But I don't know if...
I don't know how they're gonna do a bathhouse.
No, I don't know either. But either way, it'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
And
It could just be the people that work at the bathhouse come.
yeah.
No bathhouse, though.
Well, they said about having like the lights that do like the water effects on like the ceiling or something, so like the reflections. But
That would be cool.
whether that happens and whether they're even there, I can't remember. I haven't heard from them in a while, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends. Like if you are bringing it up,
Yeah.
then they'd probably talk about it more. But yeah, expectations. Otherwise,
Do you expect to go on any guild missions?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to know. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows in this.
Yeah.
Because it's the first, right? No one really knows. So I don't know necessarily how early you need to go to sign up for these things. Like, do I want to go to one on Friday? Do I want to go to multiple on Saturday? I don't know how many you can get on. Or...
We don't know when our nation battle will be.
Yeah, and we
So
also don't know
that's-
when our 2-hour slot for monstering, or when our nation is going to be going out on a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is, but I think they kind of, I don't know, they'll look, that's their problem.
It'll be our problem soon.
Well, I'd imagine they won't put you, like, if it's like a lottery system, but like, I don't know if it is, because you can go with a group.
Yeah, I don't know either. I imagine they have like lots of time slots ready.
And multiple at the same time,
Yeah.
I think as well, because they have
Yeah.
quite a few different areas in the woods,
There's three
at least.
parts, so
Yeah, and including a like encounter tent, which would be really cool because I've heard very good things about ILARP and Feast Your Eyes, which the two people that run that are directors for this, and I've heard really good things about their encounter-y tent type things from those LARPs. So I'm kind of excited to see what they might have for this LARP. I'm expecting to see some really cool monsters, actually, at some point. If not in person, like as my character, like later on in photos, because when they went to LARPCon last year, they brought a monster, and it looked like a lava rock man.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It is scary as well.
Yeah.
Like just having that run at you.
But hey, I mean, maybe with the no hand, he can't hold a weapon, so he can stay away from me.
Yeah.
With my double swords right here. He's like, stay away.
You got your stagger as well.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, that's an expectation of like managing to remember and learn like
The combat rules.
rules, because I have vigor. Usually at Empire, I go healer. I have no, like, real combat skills. I just have a sword in case I need it, which I have had to use to, like, whack people away or, kill, like, a orc on the ground who was, like, asking for it. Kind of...
If you say so.
I mean, it's just, like, walking by and the orc goes, kill me! Come on! And I was just like, oh my gosh, my character has never killed someone before. How do I do this?
You
execute.
also haven't killed anyone before.
Yeah. But yeah.
Casually committing war crimes.
But yeah. So now I've lost the track of thought.
What you were saying about the monsters being big and learning the combat.
Yeah, I only have stagger.
Yeah.
But I can do it twice because I have extra.
But you can do it 3 times.
I can do it 3 times because I have extra vigor.
Yeah.
And then I can rejuvenate my vigor and do it an additional 3 times. 2 times.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
two
the extra one when we come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a total of 5 staggers. But I need to come up with I think it's 30 seconds for the rejuvenation. I have to look at the rules again.
You have to fire yourself up.
Fire up. Yeah.
You got this. Come on. Fire yourself up, man.
Stop. I'm not role-playing right now.
That was in the video.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll go to the new player skirmish? Because I think... Or... I don't know if it's called a skirmish or if it's just like a...
It's like a learn how to battle at LARP for new players.
Yeah.
I think it kind of depends on how ready we are and what time it's at, because we are going to be cooking.
I expect them to be doing...
On Friday.
Yeah, we are. I expect them to be doing multiple though, because of how many people there will be who are both... Obviously because it's a new LARP, so people want to probably go and learn the rules of that
Yeah, we
system.
might... I think there's probably a few new players in our nation that, like, new to LARP players that would probably want to go, so we can probably, like, tag along with them as a, like, refresher of, like, how the system works. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Fair.
a good idea, go with the new players. Make friends.
Yeah.
It's the goal. The one goal of the weekend. Don't care about anything else.
Make friends.
Make friends, yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Gross.
I also expect to do some enchanting as well, because as I said,
You have to.
Strike While the Iron is Hot was formerly a Ferrum, so enchanting.
Yeah.
So I originally wasn't gonna build that into my character, but then it felt right to do, even though it takes away from, like, the combat skills that I was interested in. But it's definitely helped me find a way to be greedy, essentially, where I get everything I want, and yeah.
You just gotta read all the things that you can do, and it also gives me a bonus
XP for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. So he's gonna enchant our swords, or well, my short sword, and then if we get you a hammer,
I'll probably enchant my sword though.
enchant the sword, so that we can be ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Through our resource, which is our shared thing anyways. So it's kind of like what I feel like on the journey to Haven, our characters would have probably talked about, like, you know, oh, we've gathered this air resource, and then you'd be like, oh, I can enchant your sword, and then you could pick up another sword, and I think my character would be like all gung-ho for it, like, yeah, let's do it. And so then we get there, yeah, and so I think that's time in.
Yeah.
If nothing else is going on, running down to the enchanter.
Yeah. The forges.
The forge. Yeah. The forge, yeah. Running down to the forge and enchanting our weapons so we're ready to go. And they're enchanted for a year. And yeah, I think.
And then after that, who knows? Have to find resources and whatnot.
Sell our other resources that we don't need, like Flicker.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to, I guess, having, like, that resource as spared, knowing that I can trade it. Because we've never really done too much trading in Empire. We've done a little bit, but...
No, yeah, we've done a little bit of resource trading. Most of the resources that we have now, we have a big wad back in this pouch.
We have Truly Owl and Ambergel.
No, we don't have Truly Owl.
What was it? Is it just normally Owl?
We don't have Liao.
What's the little thing is like the religious one?
No, it's like
iridescent gloaming or something.
Gloaming, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing that we can use. We just need to sell it at some point.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. But yeah. Oh my gosh.
A new economy.
Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about earlier. Is players are starting, if you take the money resource, with 4 silver? 5. And it's a base system of 20. So it'll be a long time before anyone sees the gold. Unless, like, a group just piles all of theirs together and goes to the bank and goes, 1 gold, please.
It's possible.
Yeah, but which made me wonder, kind of with the excursions and things that you can go on through the guilds, if there'll be that chance to find more of those resources. But then it kind of like, not just Flicker and Essence, which are the magical resources, but the money, because then it kind of like sways the economy, like bringing in money that you found like on a skirmish, especially if it's a gold piece, and like we're each starting with 2 each.
2 silver.
2 silver.
Yeah,
And
so
then other people have
18
5.
silver away.
Yeah. But then if we just found one while we're like treasure hunting, like,
Yeah.
what do we even do with that money?
I think, yeah, I don't know. I imagine, personally, I'd want to split it if it was that much.
Well, yeah, with everyone on the group, but
Yeah.
no.
No, that's a good point. I think
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it happens.
I don't expect us to be paid a lot to start off with, because with the way the guilds have worked and what they've said about them, there's like an experience tracker, so everyone will start off on the lowest one.
I mean, it's on there.
Oh, it's on there?
Yeah, so on the,
Oh, yeah.
you have 9 kind of places that you can have stamped on your character passport.
Boxes.
The boxes. So I'd assume that might have to do something with their XP, and also, in a way, limiting players. You
Yeah.
can't go more than the boxes. But I also find it interesting with the XP. So they'll have low XP adventures or
For new
treasure
people.
hunting or, Court of Dagger things for the new people, which is so nice, which means in the future, it's like they've safeguarded it. They've really thought about new players, not just new to LARP, but just new to their system. A year from now, if this is still how the system is, you can come and you'll be able to go on these adventures without worrying about not being able to go, because people who have gone on more will be going at higher tier ones. So it's almost like D&D, where you wouldn't go on an adventure at level 5 for a level 1 adventure. You wouldn't go on that. That's for someone else in the world to deal with that level 1 adventure. You know?
You work your way up to it.
Yeah. So I think that will be really interesting, and I'm kind of curious to see how many people are actually going to be able to go on over the weekend, because there's only so much time. But with this LARP, Saturday and Sunday mornings, time in at like 10 o'clock, it's not a big battle.
No.
So you have that more time. If you're used to Empire, where you have a 2-hour big battle in the morning, Saturday and Sunday, we're kind of now given that time back to just be in character and go do what we want to do.
Yeah, well, like, yes and no, because if every nation is going to have a battle, that's 9 2-hour slots, essentially.
Well, yes, but it's only... I don't think... No, so the monstering is 2-hour slots. I don't think that you're necessarily... Like, the nation battle will be 2 hours. I don't think it'll necessarily be 2 hours.
Oh,
You'll monster for 2 hours,
Okay.
so you're losing 2 to monster, which is the same as Empire and potentially other ones. We really only know Empire.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, the big battle, like, you're not also having to, like, go out for 2 hours. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it'll also be, kind of smaller. I don't know. So I don't know if they'll have enough to battle for 2 hours, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's just my expectation, though. His is different.
Yeah,
That's fine.
We do have different ones. Well, that's part of the fun, isn't it? And, like, finding out for ourselves what will actually happen and going with the flow, really.
Yeah, it's kind of like conspiracy theories right now.
Yeah.
What's gonna
Where's
happen?
my tinfoil hat? I've got the wrong hat.
Yeah. Don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm worried about how much still needs to get done, even though he's told me there's not that much that has to be done still.
I don't feel like there's a lot. But
It
I'm
just-
a man.
Yeah. I know I have at least 2 hours of adding scales onto my scale mail
Yeah.
left to do.
Because you're making them bigger, which you're not a massive fan of them, really, are you?
No, I like them. I
Okay.
just don't like the idea of now. I just didn't like how you were trying to put them on me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. I was worried that you didn't like them because I know you spent so long working on them, and they look, in my eyes, they look amazing.
Go down there. You want to pick one up?
Yeah. I'll pick one up.
You pick up the. I only have one that's done. So pick up the done one.
Yeah. Not that one.
Not that one.
Oh, this showed them my butt there, and you know, you gotta pay for that. I'm
We
afraid.
got. We have a Patreon link below. No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
It's because it's OnlyFans. So this is what the bigger one looks like, and yeah, like honestly, I think it looks awesome. I'm really excited to see you wear it. There you go. Yeah, all shiny. Do you want me to hold it?
No, I'm putting it on me.
There
Like
you go.
that. Shiny. We got pinks. We got blues. There's also at the very bottom some glow in the dark ones as well. So that's exciting. So hopefully I can charge. I'm trying to charge it up right now.
Oh, okay. Put it in the dark.
In the light, yeah, to see if it'll kind of glow. Not really.
Not really.
But it does, like in person. Well, in this lighting, which is kind of
They look kind of silvery, which is nice.
yeah, they actually look like I think in daylight kind of green, which doesn't really match the vibe. But they were the only glow in the dark ones that I could find, so that's okay. But yeah, so I've added it because it was shorter. It ended like here, so I've added like quite a bit of length to the side,
And width, yeah.
and that's the back. Beautiful. Yeah.
I think you should be really proud of them.
No, I am.
Good.
I just didn't like how you were trying to attach it.
I tried.
It was fine, and then you messed it up.
Wow. And on that note, goodbye.
So my expectation is to wear this for like an hour and then throw it off.
Oh, no. That's a good point. Yeah, I expect to wear my armour, or at least my shoulders and my gorget pretty much all weekend, really, thinking about it.
Don't step
Which is
on
kind of
that.
crazy, because I've never worn them before. And I've been
Yeah.
wearing them for a whole weekend.
He's actually had his gorget. No, you've worn your gorget. The chainmail? Or no, you have a new one.
No, I didn't. Did I wear the... I've got a different gorget. It's a new gorget.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
I got
Sorry, he has two gorgets, like fancy this, fancy that.
We got one at like a second-hand place. It was really cheap, and it didn't have a pin, so I ended up buying a kilt pin to keep it together.
It works though.
It works, yeah. And so I think I wore that over my chainmail once. But it's got
Yeah.
like chainmail off of it, which feels like I'm wearing silver chainmail and like a silver gorget on top of like a dark
Black.
steel. Yeah, like a black and dark steel kind of chainmail. So it looks kind of weird.
But you're not bringing your chainmail at all.
No, I don't need it, which is nice because it's heavy.
Yeah, you're going light.
And well, I will be heavy. But,
Well, yeah, but
yeah. But
light on the chest side with just the gambeson.
yeah. I like wearing the chainmail, but it's just so greasy because it needs to be to keep it, well maintained and all that.
Yeah, rust free.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I'll give it a rest till the next Empire event.
Yeah. I don't know. Cool.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I can't think of anything. I think, yeah, it would just be more rambling, and at this point, it's almost been an hour, and, well,
It's been over an hour.
it's just been over an hour of rambling, really.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry if you listened all the way to our rambles. Like and subscribe.
Thank you if you got this far, thank you for listening. We
Yeah.
appreciate it a lot. If you are going to the first event of Menhirs Fate, we hope to see you there.
Yeah, come check us out in Saradonia. We will have a 3x3 awning
Yeah.
with a metal archway and lanterns all around. So we'll be looking real cool at night with those lanterns on. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
The nighttime vibes in Seredonia, because a lot of people are bringing like extra lanterns to look extra cool.
Yeah. We are the Night Nation, essentially. So
Yeah.
Yeah. We hope to see you there.
Yeah.
And if not, just thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll catch everyone again after the first event of Menhirs Fate.
We'll do a recap.
Yeah, a little recap of what we got up to over the weekend. And I think we'll try to touch on how our expectations were met or not met, and
Or they were
better, worse, yeah.
hopefully not worse.
I hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah. Touch wood.
Real less real wood up there. Yeah, cool. I think that's all from us. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Fantasy.
Costumes and courage.
Well,
Bye.
Bye.